Back in 2016, something happened that turned the entire digital world on its head. A mysterious group managed to steal the most secret, most powerful cyber weapons on the entire planet. This is the story of one of the biggest intelligence failures of all time, and it all kicked off with one single, baffling question. I mean, seriously, think about that. Who hacked the NSA, the National Security Agency? These are the people who are supposed to be a digital fortress. They're the ones who do the hacking, not the ones who get hacked. The very idea just seemed impossible.
And this is where it all began. This message, posted online in August of 2016. The broken English, it almost seems like a joke, right? Like a bad movie caricature of a hacker. But the claim it was making, that was absolutely no joke at all. So this message came from a group that nobody, and I mean nobody, had ever heard of before. They called themselves the Shadow Brokers, a name they lifted straight out of the sci-fi video game Mass Effect, where the Shadow Broker is this mythic, intergalactic dealer of secrets. The claim was just incredibly audacious. But here's the thing. To prove they weren't bluffing, the Shadow Brokers released a sample of the stolen goods for free. And you know what? They worked. These were not fakes. These were powerful, legitimate hacking tools that could break through some of the toughest digital defenses out there. So that begs the question, who was this Equation group? Well, for years, cybersecurity researchers had been tracking this mysterious, super advanced hacking group that they'd given that exact name to. But now, with this leak, intelligence insiders confirmed the terrifying truth. Equation Group was just the public code name for the NSA's most elite, most secretive hacking unit, Tailored Access Operations, or TAO. Now, TAO wasn't in the business of digitally blowing things up. Their mission was way more subtle and, to be honest, a lot scarier. Their whole goal was to become this invisible, all-seeing eye inside enemy networks, and to just stay there for years, without anyone ever even knowing they were there. And a unit like TAO didn't just appear overnight. It started as a small test team back in the late 90s, but after 9/11, its budget and personnel just surged. It grew into a digital behemoth with over 1,000 of the world's best hackers, all building an arsenal of cyber weapons the likes of which the world had never seen. Their tools were just mind-blowingly powerful. Think of something like EternalBlue as a master key, a skeleton key that could silently unlock virtually any door in the Windows operating system. And DanderSpritz, that was the rest of the heist crew, the entire kit you'd need to stay inside, dodge detection, and control the whole operation from the shadows. But here's the twist. That big auction, it was a total failure. Pretty much no one sent them any money. So, in early 2017, the Shadow Brokers switched gears. They just gave it all away. They released their most powerful tools, including that universal key, EternalBlue, to the entire world, for free. One former NSA employee described it perfectly with this analogy. These weren't just some simple viruses. These were military-grade digital weapons. And now, any criminal organization or hostile government on the planet had access to them. And the consequences? Well, they were immediate, and they were catastrophic. The estimated global damage from the cyber attacks that were powered by these leaked tools skyrocketed past $10 billion. You see, state-sponsored hacking groups immediately grabbed these tools and weaponized them. First came WannaCry, this ransomware worm that crippled Britain's national hospital system, locking up computers and demanding payment. Then came NotPetya, which was even more destructive. It was a wiper attack disguised as ransomware. It didn't want money, it just wanted to erase data, causing billions in damages to global giants like Maersk and FedEx. All of this unprecedented chaos brings us right back to the original mystery. Who were the Shadow Brokers, and how in the world did they steal the planet's most advanced cyber weapons from the NSA itself? So the answer wasn't some brilliant Ocean's 11-style hack on the NSA's fortress. No, investigators believe the source of this catastrophic leak was actually much more mundane. A single, careless employee. He broke the rules, took top-secret tools home to practice on his personal computer, supposedly because he was hoping to impress his bosses and get a promotion. The most plausible theory basically traces this disastrous chain of events. So the employee takes the tools home. His antivirus software, which happens to be the Russian-made Kasperski, sees these tools and identifies their signatures as malicious. Then the antivirus just does its job. It automatically uploads samples of these threats back to the company's servers in Moscow. And from there, it's widely believed that Russian intelligence agencies got their hands on the NSA's crown jewels.
And this theory also helps explain the why. That failed auction strongly suggests that money was never the real goal here. Instead, you'll notice the timing of the leaks often lined up perfectly with bad press about Russia, serving as a handy distraction. The main goal seems to have been political: humiliate the NSA, expose America's own offensive cyber operations, and basically give Russia the ability to say, hey, don't look at us, the US does it too.
The shadow brokers eventually disappeared just as mysteriously as they showed up, but the damage was done, and it was permanent. They didn't just cause a bit of chaos, they fundamentally changed the entire landscape of modern cyber warfare.
For the NSA, the result was nothing short of devastating. You see, once a tool is made public, it's completely useless for secret operations. Their entire arsenal was, in the lingo, burnt. They had to scrap years and years of work and start rebuilding from scratch. It was a massive setback for their intelligence gathering capabilities.
This leak also shattered a core, arrogant belief inside the agency known as NOBUS, which stands for Nobody But Us. It was this idea that their secret exploits were so complex, so incredibly advanced, that nobody but them could ever possibly find or use them. Well, the shadow brokers proved that assumption was dangerously wrong.
And all of this leaves us with one final critical question. The story of the shadow brokers is really a powerful warning that in our deeply interconnected world, the belief that any digital weapon can be kept secret forever, well, that might just be the most dangerous vulnerability of all.